Hi, I just wanted to talk about my experience with Andy Shaw's Creating a Bug-Free Mind books. Why did I decide to buy the books? Well, I guess I've always been a self-help junkie, in that I'd collect self-help books and devour them eagerly, determined that the latest one was going to be the one that would change my life. I've read some really good stuff, from Think and Grow Rich to Rich Dad Poor Dad. I always felt great, felt fantastic after I was reading them, like I'd really found the secret to success, like really going to be it for me now. But then one day I realised my life hadn't actually changed at all. I was still doing the same job I didn't really like, still skint, still driving the same old car. I hadn't really changed, I seemed to be really stuck. But meanwhile I'd heard of Andy, and in fact I'd bought his previous book, How to Make £1 Million in Property from Nothing, and I'd been really inspired, and I'd actually gone out to buy a property myself, but the only problem was I'd taken all of Andy's excellent advice and then completely ignored it. Bought the property just before the recession hit and ended up losing a great deal of money and getting in a great big mess. And so when I heard about Andy again, I read that he'd been going through a similar kind of thing with his bankruptcy, and I read about his journey that he'd been on writing these books, and I really thought, given the quality of his other stuff I'd read, that I really should give these a look. The trouble is, I thought there'd be no way I could even think about affording them, but when I looked at the price I was really pleasantly surprised. They're a really good deal. Two great big thick books. I'd spent a lot more on business opportunity manuals that gave me practically nothing, and so I decided I'd buy them, and I'm so glad I did. I've previously stated in a testimonial that the books are the Haynes manuals for humans, and I stand by that. Since buying the books I felt a whole shift in my mindset. I used to describe myself as a worrywart, but I can honestly say I just don't worry at all now, because it's of no benefit for me, so why would I do it? I feel so much calmer, and loads of people have commented, and I've actually sat down and set out all my desires, all that I want from life. I completely designed my ideal life. And as an example for one thing that's happened, I've always, for quite a long time now, I've wanted a new laptop. Never been able to afford one. Didn't think I could ever get one. I've been using my old desktop for ages. But using Andy's methods, I decided to write down my intention for a laptop in quite some detail. And literally 2 days after I wrote it down, I got my laptop. I'm not kidding, it really happened. What happened was I wrote down my intention on the Thursday, and on the Saturday my mother rang me up and asked me if I'd take her shopping, and while we were out she just told me she decided that she was going to treat me to a new laptop. I didn't know she was going to do it, we hadn't spoke about it before, she had no idea of the books and the process, but the end result is within 2 days I've got the brand new laptop. I've got loads more examples like that, and I just feel for the first time I really do know what I desire from life, and I know now that I didn't know before, so no wonder I didn't have any hope of getting it. And in the future I just know, I don't believe, I know that I'm going to create the design that I've set out. I know I'm going to achieve all I desire to do, and I also know how and why I'm going to achieve that. And I think that is the absolute key. So if you're deliberating about buying the books, if you're thinking, well, will they not work, it's great deal of money, I just urge you to go ahead and get them, because it's the best purchase I ever made. And I'm never going to lend out my books or get rid of them, because I'll always need them. I'll always be rereading part of them to hone my skills. And so I just can't express my gratitude enough to Andy. I really do feel that these are the keys to life.